Hello, my name is Darrell Wildberg, and I am a Jehovah's Witness in good standing. Or, if one prefers, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses in good standing. This is a follow-up to the video on judges that know the law, judges that don't know the law. And now, here's the thing. This video is not approved by the Watchtower Bible Tract Society of Pennsylvania or New York. It's not approved by the 11 faithful members of the governing body over Jehovah's Witnesses, who take the lead. They are not leaders yet. We want this video is also not approved by any local body of elders. I work for Jesus Christ as all 9 million Jehovah's Witnesses. We work for Jesus Christ. And if you want scriptural reference to that, it's Matthew 23:10. But getting on to the point of interest here, as you noted by my last couple of videos, I'm going through the appellate court now, the U.S. District Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, or U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals. The district court denied my complaint, dismissed it, and the appellate court upheld it, and I've filed for an in-bank, which means I want more justices to look at this case before a final decision, before I go to the United States Supreme Court with this. And here's the thing, folks. It appears that the U.S. District Court and the U.S. Court of Appeals rewarded an individual named Richard Castellane to commit a more serious crime to cause another individual, me, to allegedly commit a lesser crime. Now, I could have reproduced witnesses that I was the caretaker of this property and that I was caring for Castellane's sick dog at any trial or subsequent discovery motions or whatever. But the courts didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to look at the videos that were supplied by Castellane himself and this idiot cop named Ethan Koss, or Koss. And here's the thing, folks. A Class A misdemeanor. Now, I have shown that by evidence that Castellane committed a Class A misdemeanor. Now, the Class A misdemeanor is more serious than a Class 2 or a Class B misdemeanor. Criminal trespass, which I was charged with, is a Class 2 misdemeanor, or a Class B if you want. Yet, the trooper, Ethan Koss, the U.S. District Court, and the U.S. Court of Appeals ignored the admitted Class A misdemeanors of Castellane and company. They interfered with my right, with my repose in my apartment, by disconnecting my use of the internet, which the landlord provided. Richard Castellane, the millionaire, is the landlord. And at a later date, they interfered with the entrance to my apartment, both Class A misdemeanors. Now, the U.S. courts have held that Trooper Ethan Koss had probable cause to arrest me for the Class B or Class 2 misdemeanor, which is a criminal trespass. Now, while Castellane and company admitted on camera, okay, now they admitted in this camera, in the video, you've seen the video or you can watch it. It's on my page here. But they admitted on camera that they committed the more serious Class A misdemeanor or Class 1 misdemeanor. And more importantly, Castellane and company supplied the video that shows they placed an obstacle to inhibit me from entering my apartment. Could have caused serious harm to any visitors that I had or myself or my wife. Now, I mean, 2 Class A misdemeanors against me, and they go unscathed. Now, the courts know this because it's in the video. Now, courts are supposed to liberally construe pro se, or people without attorneys. They're supposed to liberally construe everything they say. So these two courts either ignored this video, didn't watch it, or if they watched it, they're incompetent. In reality, the courts have rewarded Castellane and Trooper Koss for their crimes. You see, Trooper Koss said in the video, in his own camera, in his own body cam video, he instructed the Castellane and Company to disconnect my internet because they didn't like the Jehovah's Witness videos. I had one guy write back on this, I'm on the blog here, on the thread, that Castellane was perfectly legal to forbid me to come into his apartment. And again, I can produce witnesses. But the courts don't want to hear that. They gave Trooper Castellane or Trooper Koss carte blanche to arrest me for this Class 2 misdemeanor, while overlooking the Class A misdemeanors that these people admitted to on camera. And that's bad. I mean, it's bad. The millionaire committed not one but 2 more serious crimes against me, and he goes unscathed. Nothing. He gets rewarded for it. Now, in reality, the courts here rewarded Castellane and Trooper Koss for their crimes. Trooper Ethan Koss also committed a Class A misdemeanor when he instructed Castellane and Company to cut my internet access. And it's on the video. It's right on the video, folks. If they would just watch the video, they would see this. Castellane and Company committed 2 Class A misdemeanors, Class 1 misdemeanors, to allegedly entrap me to commit a Class 2, a B misdemeanor. That's like a guy committed murder and had the other guy charged with attempted murder, a lesser offense. Isn't that sad that the courts would do that? Now, the courts have to know, if the courts are really watch these videos, if the appellate court and the U.S. District Court really watch these videos, why didn't they get this? I got it, so why didn't they get it? The Class A carries a penalty of up to 364 days in jail. Now remember, 3 Class A misdemeanors were committed against me. 2 by Castellane and Company and 1 by this cop. This cop committed a Class A misdemeanor on the video. Now, the Class A carries, like I said, a penalty of 364 days. The Class B, or the class I was charged with, carries a 90-day jail sentence. Now, the U.S. courts are in possession of another video that shows me removing the obstacle that Castellane and Company placed in the path to my apartment, and ignored that video also. They didn't watch it, or they ignored it. Why? Why would they do this? Why would the court say, okay, this guy committed 2 more serious offenses, but we're going to get you for the lesser offense? Why would they do that? Religious animus. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and that's why all these courts have ruled against me. Make no doubt about it, it's the truth. It's the truth. Just watch the video. And like I said, it's on the thread here. They ignored the apartment and the video that showed them placing the obstacle in front of my apartment, so I couldn't, so I might get hurt, or somebody else might get hurt. Now I'm left wondering whether these courts actually used or obey, or whatever, referred to New York laws. Now, they claimed in their thing that, well, according to New York laws, but there's one law that they didn't follow, and that's the RPAPL section 7, I think it's 768. And that is sad. That's totally sad to me.